Hi, welcome to the new normal. So, I am at Hyderabad International Airport. I'm waiting for my flight to Delhi, and I'll be flying out of Delhi on my onward flight onto Chicago. As you can see, there is strict social distancing implemented here in Hyderabad International Airport. Um, Pretty streamlined, I would say. Not many passengers, and at this point of time, there's just one. That is right there. That's the only aircraft flying out of Hyderabad International Airport, 8:20 p.m. on 20th June. We'll keep you posted. Take care. Peace. Okay, so there is my PPE kit that's been given on board Air India, and now I'm proceeding towards my aircraft. Very pleasant so far. See you soon.
Hello friends, I've recently traveled on Vande Bharat mission phase 3 from Hyderabad to Chicago on Air India AI-127. It's a Boeing 777 aircraft with registration VTAJL. I wanted to share my experience with you and give you precautions, tips on how to make your journey as comfortable as possible. Getting started, here are my top tips for you. If you're traveling from outstation or if your journey is originating in Delhi, please make sure you have your face mask and face shield in place. Especially if you're traveling international, all the international aircrafts are departing in the night, probably from 9 p.m. all the way till 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. That's about 8 to 10 aircrafts flights per day, and going by about 300 seats per aircraft, there will be close to 2,000 people in the airport. Given the infrastructure which cannot be developed at an accelerated rate, there would be around 2,000 to 3,000 people in the airport when you arrive. Social distancing in such conditions is impossible, and hence the best step that you can take is to have personal protective equipment. Have your mask, have your face shield always in place. The second important point that I would make is definitely get yourself a writing pen, a proper writing instrument. Air India and Government of India would like you to fill up extensive paperwork. They are demanding you to provide with your Indian address, the address at your destination, your itinerary, your travel history, so on and so forth. You have to fill in 5 to 6 pages of paperwork that you have to hand out at the airport and while you board the aircraft and at immigration. Make sure you have a pen, and if you are traveling in a group or you're traveling with your family and kids, it's best to have one pen per person. The third and the most important point is Delhi is a hot, humid place, and with all those people in place, it would definitely take long time for you to get even into the airport. For me, it took about 3.5 hours standing in the line outside till I reached immigration. When I say it takes 3 to 4 hours, remember that Delhi is a very hot and humid place. Make sure you have enough water to survive all this time, especially if you're traveling with a party of kids and seniors. It is mandatory. Let me also appraise you that there are no water fountains, no restaurants, or no vending machines or kiosks inside the airport. They are all closed for our own safety, and hence it is best that you make your own arrangements. I would go ahead and suggest that you have at least 2 to 3 liters of water per person when you're traveling. As per my observation, security is actually letting people with water bottles to pass through. They're demanding you to open the water bottle, drink a sip out of it, and then they're letting you go. They're not stopping people with water bottles. So definitely do make your own arrangements. Like I said, it would be a long journey, and there are no restaurants, vending machines, or any kind of eating provisions inside the Delhi airport. If you are traveling with kids and seniors, make sure you have something to eat. In my case, I checked in at the airport at 7:30 p.m. for my 2:30 a.m. Chicago flight. It took me about 4.5 hours, 7:30 all the way till 11:30 till I reached the boarding gate. I am somebody who gets hungry, and I cannot withstand hunger, and therefore I was lucky that my parents did pack multiple sumptuous meals, and that way it worked out well for me. Um, I was equally disappointed, sad that there were many kids who did not have anything to eat pestering their parents. And this is what prompted me to suggest and warn all parents traveling with kids to come prepared. The same thing is true with diabetic patients and seniors who need to eat something at regular fixed intervals. Then going through immigration, they are asking multiple questions. It was not an isolated case with me. My observation is they are checking every individual's details, excuse me, including uh, address, telephone number, and contact in India, address, telephone number, and contact in your destination country or wherever it is, so on and so forth, which is taking about 10 minutes time. They're also checking your extensive travel history in recent past. They are asking you when you have come, your purpose of arrival, so on and so forth, which must not be taking more than a couple of minutes previously, but now it's stretching all the way 10 to 15 minutes. Now, in a line, there could be about 10 to 15 people, so that's easily 1 to 1.5 hours standing in the immigration line. The immigration is not functioning at its fullest capacity. Another suggestion that I would give you is when you're going to receive your boarding pass at the Air India counter, make sure you fold your ticket and place it in that passport page where you have your destination's visa. Now, there have been multiple instances where the boarding card issuing person was not sure to what country you were traveling if you had multiple visas in your passport. There were two instances when they were confused if the person was traveling to Canada or to Germany, because there are multiple flights departing in half an hour's time gap. So make sure, if you're, for example, if you're traveling to US, open your passport, the page which has your US visa, fold your ticket, place it in that page, and then hand over your ticket and boarding pass to the counter agent. There are about 30 counters at Delhi International Airport. Three on each side are functional, so that's 6 counters for all the thousands of people waiting out there. The waiting lines are long. Please be prepared when you arrive. Crossing immigration, we enter into Delhi International Airport Terminal 3. Except the Delhi duty free, there are no businesses open. There are no restaurants, there is no water facility, there are no vending machines, no kiosks, nothing. Therefore, you have to be prepared to survive this. I got onto Air India AI 127. There were pre-packaged foods that are left in our seats. The air hostesses and the stewardess themselves wear personal protective equipment, and they are maintaining social distance. In their terms, they're not helping you load your luggage into the cabins. They're not serving, they're not providing any kind of need. They're just there to take care of emergency requirements. Be prepared for that. The cooked food that was pre-packaged, I assume was at least 12 hours before that, and by the time we boarded the aircraft and most of the people started having their meal, the food was rotten. This was a complaint from many people. I checked with my friends who had arrived the previous day. I had checked with my friends who had arrived after me. Everybody had the same complaint, that the roti sabji burrito kind of a thing that they had served had rotten by then. I would very strongly suggest and go ahead and recommend that please do not eat the food provided on the aircraft. The cooked food, the pre-packaged food like chips, nuts, etc. are fine, but please do not consume the cooked food. It is best to get your food from your home, pack 3-4 meals and bring them with you, or bring pre-packaged food like haldirams or chips or nuts or whatever along with you, but please avoid eating food on the aircraft. In the pre-packaged meal kit, they have provided 2 half-liter water bottles, and that's all. Although they say that there are water bottles available in the galley, for a flight carrying 230 economy passengers, that lasts no long. Another important thing, and this is not new with the aircraft traveling to Chicago, the two aircrafts traveling to Chicago, is the water gets exhausted pretty soon. I specifically remember that we had about 4 hours to land in Chicago, and the water in the toilets and the water in the galley was over. So especially if you're traveling with infants or kids and you need to formulate baby food, if you need to reconstitute milk, please come prepared with water. Or if you get into the aircraft, please ask the air hostess to provide you with extra water bottles. They are not providing any more food, but you can request them to provide with water bottles. You can request them to heat the water up. They will do it for you, and then you can reconstitute your milk. But if you are totally relying on the airline to provide you with water, you will be terribly disappointed. There is no social distancing on airlines. There are no middle seats being left vacant. The aircraft in itself, both the aircrafts that are flying from Delhi to Chicago are extremely old, so be prepared for that. After arriving in Chicago, there was not much of a trouble. Quarantine is recommended, it's not mandatory. But having provided you with all the tips, having got to say all that I had to say, my final recommendation is that if you can avoid traveling, if you can postpone your trip, it is highly recommended to do it. You are safe wherever you are. If you reach to your destination, you are safe, but your risk of getting exposed to the virus goes unbelievably high, especially in Delhi International Airport. It's a mess. They could have done a better job, but I think they're doing the best that they can do. Well, having said that, if you've decided to travel and your flight is scheduled pretty soon, best of luck to you. Take all precautions, wash your hands frequently, have a sanitizer, have a face mask, have a face shield. Do not eat outside food. Come prepared for your trip with excessive water and food. Stay safe. Thank you, and Jai Hind. I would be sharing some pictures that I took in Delhi International Airport as well as on the aircraft. Photography is prohibited in Delhi International Airport past immigration, so this is all that I could get. Please share this video with whoever you think they might need. Again, stay safe. Jai Hind.